What up, though? Thank y'all for tuning in that part. You know, I like to really show my appreciation for y'all amazing people being here today. Not to welcome y'all. We about to lay some truth bombs though today. We done played enough and we done did all of that beating around the bush. We about to get down to something that's going on today, and it ain't enough for that thing going on, and it's too little of it going about. And we talking about accountability. That's right. Talking about accountability, that's something that just not enough of going around. We're gonna take a deep dive into what the world where people are skipping out on responsibility, and it's faster than you can say accountability, they is gone on accountability. And that's just something that I've taken notice to in today's society. It's just, that's just what it is. I know life can be like a roller coaster, and sometimes some of the things that you do, you might not like you did it. But if we make taking what we did into account and taking accountability for what we do, if we make that the norm, I feel like the world would be well served. You know, how many times you seen somebody bail on their responsibilities? You know what I mean? Like, what were you even thinking? I mean, you see some people there, you'll look on Facebook or Instagram or something, you'll see them, and it's like, I done did it. I ain't talking down on nobody, so I want you guys to know something. Anytime I speak on any subject on that part, 9 times out of 10, it's a subject that comes directly from my life or the life of somebody that's closely acquainted with me. As of right now, as we grow, we probably will reach out to more and more constituents and gain a broader reach for content and people outside of our regular norm. But for what I'm speaking on right now, it's just what I've seen, you know? And so I'm gonna throw a word out there. Consequentially. That's a word that a lot of people they overlook. And I think it's a big word because most of what happened in our life, I want to say all, but I don't want to use an absolute. So most of what happens in our life happens consequentially. Sequential, the breakdown. Not just one word. Consequential. And I'm not even going to play like I'm this expert that know all of these things, but I do know that there are pros and there's cons. And the cons ain't too good. And if you have a sequence of cons, think about what's going on. You're living consequentially. You're living in consequence. A bad result in sequence. But it's in sequence with your decisions. It's in sequence with your behaviors. It's in sequence with your feelings. And most importantly, it's in sequence with your reactions or responses, according to how good you are with your temperament. Because it's all about temperament, tone, stuff like that. That's what take a conversation from a conversation to a verbal altercation, tone. And that's what take a understanding from a slight misunderstanding to mayhem, temperament. That's very important. And that's something that I've been really harping on lately. I've been saying to myself that if I can get to a point where I can control my tone and my temperament, I'll be all right. I can control my outcomes now because my reaction the tone in which I react or respond is gonna be a tone of understanding and tranquil, maybe not even tranquil, but I would like to say assertive and understanding as far as firm and resolute in what I'm saying. And I feel like in that, I will always have the proper arena to approach any subject because my tone is respectful, which is going to elicit a rep, a rep, what we like to say, a reciprocated energy. So if my tone is understanding and it's of a nature of where we can be reached, we can reach each other, it's probably going to be the case that we have a nice conversation and we come to an understanding. But if my tone rises to a point where it starts to affect my temperament, it's probably a good chance that we're going to have a debilitating conversation because you're probably going to try to match my tone or outmatch my tone. And in that, we're going to lose track of what we were trying to hash out. Where I was at, I was in prison for a while, and I did this program. Inside the program, they had this thing called confronting and leveling, and I felt like confronting and leveling was one of the most. It was a very pivotal part of what we were doing, because when you confront someone and you put what you feel on the table, there's only one thing that that person can do now, and it's reveal themselves. They can either respect the way you feel and level with you and try to come to an understanding, or they can disrespect the way you feel and they can try to make excuses. They can try to point the finger at you, blame. They can try to minimize. Man, it wasn't that bad. Whatever the case may be, I feel like in those cases, that's when we really truly see that if a person has it in them to take accountability for themselves, because even having a how can we say it? Even having an approachable or amicable tone is accountability. You're taking into account that accountability is just not I'm taking responsibility for what I'm doing. I want to let you guys know that. I don't feel like that's all what accountability is. I feel like accountability is also reading the room, taking into account what's going on around me. I'm accountable to myself to know that there's a lion that's loose right there. I can't blame nobody, man. Ain't nobody. I need to hold them accountable for not telling me a lion was loose. When this is my life that I'm living, I need to be paying attention to what's going on. Even if maybe I'm looking at my phone too much or whatever the case may be, I need to know what's going on around me. I don't need to be up to somebody else to say, hey, sir, you might don't want to keep walking in the direction that you already been walking in because it's a lion over there. No, I already been walking in the direction, so I need to be knowing what's on my path. That's literally and that's figuratively as well in life. We walk in this path in life. We going where we going. We doing what we doing. We need to be knowing what's along this path. That's where you read you read up. You know your history. You read. You know your current affairs. You read. You know what they're trying to do in the near future. You read. You know what they're trying to do in the not so near future. It's being aware. It's also to me a part of accountability. It's like that has a major part of it. Being aware has a major part of accountability in my eyes, taking into account what's going on. And also there's this thing of accountability where to me it empowers you to tell your own story. A lot of people out there are giving accountability to people. Like they heaping it on you. Oh, you did this and you did that, which might be true. But in my opinion, I don't feel like it's incumbent upon the person who's been wrong to continue to let that person know that they've done wrong. And that way, I feel like you weaponizing what they've done because I mean, if you've talked about it, person has acknowledged it, apologized, whatever. It shouldn't keep going. It shouldn't keep going, you know. And I know what people thinking, man, how do I supposed to tell, when all of this, how do I supposed to just take accountability when this other person, they doing what they doing, that's cool. But you have to take into account that they're doing that too. A lot of people don't take that into account. Like, man, if you take into account that they doing that, maybe you would have left a long time ago and didn't come back. Or maybe when you did leave, you would have set some boundaries and parameters that you didn't even play with this time and month. People and somebody new don't play with you like that. You know? But at the end of the day, when you begin to take accountability, you become the author of your own story and you become your own champion. You become your own hero. If you win the game, it's because you're shot. If you lose, okay, it's because you took a shot and didn't make it. But you had the game in your hand. And ain't nobody else stood a chance of winning it or losing it but you. I mean, like, for me, what more can you ask for? Me being the type of person I am, put the ball in my hand in the clutch. I want that ball in the clutch because I know what I'm gonna do. And if I don't do it, man, them people was lucky. They got a lucky break because I was going for the gusto and I was going for the win. I'm the type of person, if I'm down by 2, I'm finna shoot that 3 every time. Every time. I don't care unless I just got a fast break, wide open layup, and then okay. But if it's any mumbo jumbo in the way, and we down by 2, I'm shooting the 3. I'll dribble all around the court and run all the way down the baseline and come all the way back out just to get to that 3. I'm gonna shoot that 3 because I'm trying to win. I didn't come out here to play to tie. I didn't come out here to play for overtime. I came to win. And then 100% of the time, I'm going to go for the win. And I'm just different. I'm cut like that, you know. And I love people that's cut like that. I like winning big, you know. Nobody like losing at all. So we don't even got to talk about losing big or little. I just like winning big. I love it. And then I don't mean just money. I mean, I love it. Like I do puzzles. There's a point that while I'm doing the puzzle, I promise you, I know I'm in. I usually start with the outline. I put the outline in, but there hits a point in those puzzles when I know, oh, it's over with now. It's over with. I know every piece. I'm like, plop, plop, plop. I love completing what I love completing what I started, and I love winning. And it's not just winning where I'm out doing somebody else. It's winning where I set out to do something and I accomplished it. To me, that's winning. It's not about the other team. I set out to come out here and do X, Y, Z. And when I look on my checklist, X, Y, and Z is checked off, I feel like I won. And I love winning big. That means I like having a whole big list and checking the whole list off. It's the way I always been. And the only way you're really going to do that, you have to take accountability. I found myself running from accountability. I found myself trying to tell myself somebody else wrong about something that I know 100% me, 100% me. It's like when I know something is 100% somebody else, I take into account that people don't take accountability for their actions, so I'm not forcing it down your throat. Hey man, you know what you did? Why you did that? Why you did that, man? Say you did it, man. Just to be honest with you, say you did it. I don't need you to say you did that. I already took into account the fact that you don't like taking accountability for your actions, so I don't need you. I gave myself the answer that I need from you when I witnessed what I saw. Other than that, you ain't finna say I'm sorry. You ain't finna say my bad. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. I don't need that. I don't need that. And that's the thing that a lot of us we need that person to say, oh, um, I did this to you and I'm sorry, or even not even I'm sorry. Oh, I did this to you. Yeah, I did this. Like, okay, what if that person never acknowledges it? Then what you gonna do? So now how the rest of your life gonna go? You done spent so much time and energy trying to show this person the error in their ways, and this person will flat out tell you, I don't care what you say. I'm never gonna see the error in my way. I'm gonna run from the error in my way. Now what? You gonna run them down and beat them across the head with accountability? No. You take into account that this person is not gonna take accountability. And you just leave it like that. I took a class called Critical Thinking and Logic, and you'll hear me talk about this class quite a bit. You got a premise, and you got either supporting or contradicting facts. And if that thing don't match up, it's a contradiction. And once you reach a contradiction, anything you do past that contradiction, you tripping. Any conversation when you sit up here talking to somebody and they tell you, yeah, man, I'm a bullfrog, and you know you're human, anything you say to this person and the tense of a bullfrog after that, that's your problem. You went past that contradiction. You know that's a human. And you, how do you like flies, Mr. Bullfrog? Nah, man, you not a bullfrog. You a cold human, and you tripping. And so I must take into account that you really feel like you're a bullfrog. That's a contradiction because I'm looking at a human. You don't change people's mind by arguing with them. You just shut your mouth. You shut your mouth up and you conduct yourself in a manner that matches with the true nature of what you're trying to say, the true nature of what you're trying to point out. All that, you need to shut up, blah, 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 blah. It's not going to work. That's going to rile the other person up. And then 9 times out of 10, they're going to miss your message. So you just stop talking. Shut noise up. And when you say shut up, when I say shut up, I don't necessarily mean just stop talking. There's an energy behind what we be doing and the way we be going about um looking at each other, talking to each other sometimes. You know, people can just really get just really different. People can throw an energy out there at you while they smiling and make you feel like I'll punch you in your face. And somebody else would be like, oh, he just smiled at you. Like, what's going on? But you know, it's so much more underneath the surface of what's going on. And I just feel like we need to deal with that. We need to deal with that a lot more. And it's a lot more love out there than we know. I wish I can introduce the people. Like people, I be meeting people all the time. Oh man, I wish I ran across somebody who felt this way. I wish I ran across somebody who felt this way. I'm like, I wish I ran across each other because I'm meeting people everywhere I go. Like I just meet so many different energies. Diversity and inclusion is something that I'm just like I've been I've been born and raised and matriculated in that energy because I come from so many different backgrounds of influence, you know, whether it's Bahamian, Jamaican, American, uh, crime, sports, uh, um, alternative housing. When I stayed in the homeless programs and wasn't even homeless, just stayed there just I don't know why. I just stayed there. They did a lot of fun things. They took us to movies, took us to bowling alleys and stuff like that. So I would chill. And then when they get me wrong or they get to a point where I ain't feeling what they talking about, I just leave, go back home. But in all of these traverses, I met so many different people of all different kinds and every different kind of ilk of individual. I met a lot of them. I met a lot of them. And then as I got older, I went to prison and then I went to a federal prison and I'm meeting all these guys from everywhere. I'm talking about Alaska, Hawaii, Dakota, Washington, the state, not the Washington, D.C. Like I was meeting so many people from so many different places. Like right now, everywhere I go, I'm pretty tapped in the United States. Like I can call and be like, yo, I'm gonna come into your hood. You know, hook your boy up. I'm gonna need some trees or something like that. And so I'm good. Like, no matter where I go at, it's like I know somebody. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, man, kicking it with me, being here in this space with me, man. We're gonna grow it. We're gonna grow it. We're gonna grow it. And then after that, we're gonna blow it. So, like I say, it could have been any way you wanted to be tonight. Appreciate you.